you are able to present, like you have this motivated seller, they want to get rid of the property. Okay, we can either give you a cash offer or we can list it. So like what sort of benefit do you see there? Like how many people do you actually convert to either in terms of actually cash offer, actually like listing it?
Yeah, so you'll find like in a robust market, you'll get more listings. I mean, because people know that, one, competition. So this was another way, like I can't buy every house for 85 cents on the dollar, but I do know there's a lot of people who will. And some people, they'll pay full retail because they don't care what it's worth as long as it rents and gets a certain yield, like hedge funds, like they just don't care. So wholesalers can get out there, lock up properties for 80, 85 cents, maybe even 90 cents on the dollar, and go out and sell it to an end buyer, typically landlords that are okay with that 6%, 8%, 10% yield over a 5, 7, 10-year period. Like they're okay with that. I can't compete with that. Unless I want to be a wholesaler, which I don't. My kind of like you, I like flipping. We've wholesaled a couple deals here and there, just stuff that we didn't want to flip, but I didn't want to go that way. So I just like, how can I compete with them? And the other way I can compete is I can list it and I can get them more than what the wholesaler can. And on top of that, I'll disclose like, look, this is exactly what the wholesaler is going to do. They're going to do it, but this, and this, and they're going to make 15, 20, 30 grand. And there's nothing, and I'll tell them there's nothing illegal about it. I mean, as long as they're properly explaining what's going on, there's nothing illegal about it. I can do this, and that 30 grand goes in your pocket, not in the wholesaler's pocket. What sounds better to you? Like, and in this type of market, like, it's not like you got to wait 45, 60 days. Like
you really don't.
Not that long. Yeah. Like you've put homes on the market. You've probably seen motivated seller, like, ugly houses that are on MLS and they go in days too.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, historically, this is where I came to realization of that model. In 2018, I had my lead manager. I said, hey, every deal we made an offer on, I want to, and we didn't buy it. Like we made an offer, they did something else. What happened to it? And we found it was like 130 of them sold retail. They went on MLS. You've walked these kind of properties where the home isn't trash. It actually looks pretty nice, or just minor things. They're interested in what you have to say, but they're not motivated per se.
Yeah.
Everyone has a sister, cousin, neighbor that's a realtor. So at the end of the day, like if you can't help them with a cash offer at their ask, then they're just going to list it. So I was like, and then NAR, National Association of Realtors, their statistic is most people list with the first agent that they speak with. Now, people tend to call investors before they talk to realtors. So I'm an investor and a realtor, and I'm in their living room.
Yeah.
You're in their living room and they're literally telling me, I want to sell my house. I'm not going to sell it for 70% off, but I do want to sell my house. And what I was doing under the old model, what a lot of investors do is they're a one-trick pony. They've got their cash offer, maybe an owner's finance offer, and if that doesn't work, I mean, they don't really do anything else. Maybe they refer it to their friend who's an agent, but at that point, communication's lost, it's cut, and then someone else has to reestablish communication. And if you've tried to do that, you know that is very difficult. I'm in their living room with a hot lead that needs to be closed one way or another. I'm either buying their house or I'm listing their house. We just need to have a very honest conversation about their needs and wants and see how I can best help them. So that's the conversation flow that I have. It's never, can you buy it? It's, well, I could, but let's just see the best way to get it sold.
I like the perspective where like, you're just trying to help them out and you're not even trying to convince them or manipulate them into something. You're just like, here are the options. Which option would you like to take? And either option they take, you're winning. Like if they want to list it with you, great, you're going to win. If they want to, sell it to you cash, like that's great, you're going to win. You also mentioned something, which is what I've run into as well, where I go and see a lead, I go and see a motivated seller. Okay, it didn't really make sense for me to buy it cash. We're just way too far off. Like their house is in decent condition, but not perfect condition. And then I refer to a realtor and I say, okay, well, a realtor is going to give you a call tomorrow. And the realtor calls, and I've done this maybe 30 or 50 times, like a lot. and nothing, like never, not even one has converted.
Yeah.
Not one, ever, never. It's never converted. And just like you said, the communication's honest, cut off, and it's a new person, and they've, forgotten about them, and they, reach out and find somebody else. But I guess how you do it differently is while you're there in person, like you either get a signing agreement for the purchase agreement or a signing listing agreement. How do you like think about that sort of sales process?
Yeah. So you actually had to back up before that. So the way you frame this meeting frames their expectations. If it's only framed that you're going to go out there to buy their house and you don't, but then you pitch them option B, you've actually broken trust. Because they trusted that you were going to buy their house, it was going to work or not. But now you threw out this other option that they had no idea about. It was never in their thought process. Now, depending on their personality type and all that, especially if they're analytical, this is a whole new set of calculations. They're going to think about it, which think about it means, nice to see you. They're not going to talk to you again. And then the same thing like you said before, when actually, that's the same thing with referring it to another realtor. You've just added another piece to the equation. So I don't frame the conversation that way. It's I let them know up front, hey, Victor, I'm gonna come out your house tomorrow at 3:00. We'll just run over some options and see what the best way is to get your house sold. Maybe it is an as-is cash offer. Maybe it's traditional listing, and there actually could be a couple other options that we find actually work better. But if we were to find a good solution that works for you, what does that next step look like? And then you're getting them to verbally commit at that point to, well, I would like to move forward with a contract, or I got to talk to my sister and all that stuff. But at least frames the conversation, not that I'm going to buy it. It's we're going to unpack some options, then we'll go over those. Now, if you don't truly intend to go over those options, that probably, that's how I did it. Depending on your actual value propositions and all that, you'll tweak that. Because if you don't want to list it, then don't say that. If you do want to work the referral game because you're not an agent, then change up that type of pitch to include that kind of expectation. But whatever it is, whatever you're going out there to truly do and have all the options, like just they need to be up front. You're setting that expectation, getting some commitments, and then everything else is done at the actual appointment.